constant rotation, it's all about the wrist.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of After the Previews Reviews. On today's show, I will be reviewing the movie A Cure for Wellness. It is on the internet regarded as, for anyone that saw that thing flash by, that was Garrett's hand. He's coming over. Say hi to Garrett, everybody. What's going on, bro?
Cure my wellness.
This movie will not cure your wellness. Actually, it will cure your wellness. You're not going to be well after seeing this movie.
Can I put my hand in front of the lens?
Yeah.
Shit, that's a new move.
Anyway, let me grab some details on this movie for you guys real quick. I know it stars Dane Dehaan. For anyone who doesn't know, because he's not technically a household name yet, he was Harry Osborn in the latest Amazing Spider-Man 2 with Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. What's his name? Fucking Jamie Foxx as Electro. The one that everyone kind of just didn't really like that much, except for that scene where Emma Stone dies, and oh no, she dies. How come you killed Emma Stone, not Gwen Stacy? That was the most comic book accurate part of that movie. But this is not a Spider-Man review. This is A Cure for Wellness. So let me get to those details because it's hard to type and talk at the same time. Starring Dane Dehaan, he was, again, like I said, he was Harry Osborn in that movie. Haven't seen him there. He's coming up in the new Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets with Cara Delevingne. He is he was the mentally handicapped friend of Shia LaBeouf in Lawless. Yeah, honestly, if you can't figure out who he was now, he was the star of Chronicle. So yeah. That's probably the most well-known movie or well-known role that he's played. If you don't know him by now, then I'm sorry. You're not gonna know who he is unless you just look at him. And I kind of feel like if you don't know him from those movies, then even if you look at him, you're not gonna you're gonna be like, oh, I don't know who this dude is. Anyway, also stars Jason Isaacs, Mia Goth, and that's basically the only stars of the movie. There's not too many other really big names in this one. But anyway, the movie is about an ambitious young executive at a Wall Street company. He goes to this retreat or this spa in Switzerland. Yeah, it's in the Alps. He goes to this spa in the Alps, and he's trying to get the dude to come back to New York because they need him in New York to do some, they need him to sign some papers so that they can save the firm, and because the firm is a bunch of people doing illegal shit. Honestly, the plot, it kind of, for as basic as it is, I guess it's okay, but it really doesn't make you think at all, and it's hard for me to say, I'm gonna do a non-spoiler review because literally in the beginning of the movie, they tell you just about everything that's gonna happen. So the movie spoils itself within 15 to 20 minutes. So it's kind of lame, to be honest. I didn't love this movie, and it seems like not a whole lot of people did. I was really bummed out too. I was let down. I really wanted this to be a good movie because everyone was talking about how this is Gore Verbinski's return to horror, which, let me get into that real quick. This is not a return to horror. Gore Verbinski had one horror movie before this, and it was The Ring. And The Ring was not that scary and also not that good.
It was a remake.
The Ring was a remake?
Yeah.
Dude, and it was a remake. This is not Gore Verbinski's return to horror. This is Gore Verbinski's second attempt at horror, and he failed again. Let's see what the Rotten Tomatoes rating of this movie is real quick, because on IMDb, the Metascore is 47, and I can't see it being that great on Rotten Tomatoes. I gotta know. Rotten Tomatoes has this at an average 5.3 out of 10. Their tomato meter is 40%, so that is rotten. Audience score is just slightly above that at 47%, so it seems like not a whole lot of people are going to disagree with me on this one. A Cure for Wellness is not worth your $10. That's actually a cheap movie price if you can find a movie for $10 still. It's not, in my opinion, it was not worth the full amount of money that could have been paid. I paid $6 because I saw it at the first matinee showing of the day, so I don't feel too upset about it. I mean, Personally, I liked it better than Split, and I know probably some people aren't gonna like that much, but yeah, I don't know. This movie was a bummer. It was a letdown. Was not exciting. It was kind of boring throughout the whole thing. Moved very slow, and then when things started to finally happen, it's like, yeah, I already knew that was gonna happen because you fucking told me like 10, 15 minutes into the movie. So yeah, let's get into. I mean, what is there to say? There's nothing more to say about it. It's this guy goes to a retreat, and he's being told stories from other people who are at the retreat, and he's being told stories about how back in the day when the castle where the retreat is located, the guy who was at the top, or the prince or whatever, the baron of the castle, he was really into blood purity and his own family's pure bloodline. So he was like, nah, I'm not going to marry anyone. I'm just going to marry my sister. And the townspeople were like, that's fucking weird. We're going to set you on fire, which like is a testament to how fucking crazy people can be, because I mean, yeah, incest is not cool, and I would never advocate incest, but I mean, do you really need to set someone on fire because of that? No. It's kind of fucked up, and that's probably more fucked up than incest. I mean, like murdering people is probably worse than having sex with your own sister. So that's my take on that. I really don't think that's a spoiler. There's really not much to say about this movie other than it's just super like disappointing. The ending was kind of the ending's kind of whack. It literally just kind of fizzles out, nothing happens, and then Dane Dehaan gives you this really weird, creepy fucking smile at the end. It makes you think like they have some plan for a sequel or something, but there's no possible way that there could be a sequel to this story. Like, the story ends, and that's it. There is nothing that can possibly go further than this. So, I don't know what that weird-ass look on Dane Dehaan's face was about, but it lends no credence to the rest of the story. And it's just, I don't know. I guess they were trying to do some kind of false cliffhanger thing. I don't know. Gore Verbinksi, I'm sorry. I did enjoy the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, but this one was just awful. No. I mean, Garrett only liked the first one. I can't say that the second and third were great movies, or maybe not even, like, let alone good movies. But I did enjoy them, like, for the story they were trying to tell. And I mean, like, if I don't think at all, then I guess they're fun movies to watch. But this one, Cure for Wellness, without having to think, because they literally tell you everything that's gonna happen, without thinking, this movie is still not fun to watch. It was so boring. And again, there's just no spoilers. Like, there was no surprise at the end of the movie. Like, at least if you're gonna make a thriller or a suspense movie, like, I can't even honestly call this a horror movie. There were no parts of the movie where I was like, oh my god, what the and there was no part of the movie where I was like, oh my god, dude, like, that shit could happen to me. Like, no fucking way any of this could happen to anybody. Like, it's stupid. The big spoiler that I'll get into, I guess, the spoiler review section of this movie is going to be probably 2 minutes long, to be perfectly honest. I don't even know how long into this review I've gotten right now. But the spoiler is going to literally be really short. So if anyone watching this movie, if anyone watching this review right now is worried that I'm going to spoil something, here, my rating for this movie, Cure for Wellness, I'm going to give it a solid, I don't know. Maybe not so solid.
Good college try.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10. I would say I enjoyed it just a tiny bit more than Split, because though it wasn't a thrilling story and it wasn't a very exciting story, I think the writing made more sense than Split. So I'm gonna compare every bad movie to Split this year probably. But yeah, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10 for everyone here for the non-spoiler review. Now, getting into the one and only spoiler of this entire movie. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. They're using fucking New York banker, Wall Street types. They're using their bodies to put natural spring water from the Swiss Alps, and it's mixed with the body fluids of some snakes that happen to be swimming in that water, and for whatever reason, the snakes live longer in that water than they do anywhere else in the world. So that Baron who was set on fire back in the day, he's still alive, and that's not the spoiler because they make that very fucking obvious in but anyway, that dude who's still alive, he's using the, what the fuck is it? He's using the water and he's pumping it through the bodies of these bankers while they're still alive. He puts them in these little tube things and he pumps this water through them, and somehow it doesn't kill them. It just like filters through their bodies, their bodily fluids, and that fluid mixed with the water, mixed with the snake's body fluids, is a potion that makes you live forever. And the main girl, who is like, she looks like she's probably 15. Everyone's got this weird like physical attraction to this 15-year-old girl, so that's creepy too. It does not. They make this one. There's this one line in the movie where he says, "I know she looks like an adult, but she's not. She's just a child." She does not look like an adult. This girl looks maybe 15 at the oldest. I thought she was like 12 or 13, but they're talking about her like she's like 21. Like dude brings her down into town to have a drink at a bar, and he's like surprised that she's never had a beer before. I'm like, why are you surprised this 12-year-old girl's never had a beer? But I don't know, man. Shit was just super weird, and yeah, like that's the only spoiler. They're using bankers to filtrate this snake water with their own body fluids and live forever, and that's the spoiler. Everyone who works at the asylum is also a fucking person who lived at the Baron's castle back in the day, and they're all on the fucking fluid too. And all these people who are at the resort, they think they're having a great time because this shit like it fucks with their mind too. I don't know. Maybe I don't want to give this a 4. Maybe I want to bring this one down to a 2 as well. I don't like this shit, and I think it's probably just as bad as Split. So, yeah, that's the fucking review of A Cure for Wellness. Anyone who's interested in still seeing this movie, just know I would recommend paying as little as possible. So, yeah, that's been After the Previews reviews, A Cure for Wellness. Shut off your cell phones.